All the roll and go, where am I to go? Meet Johnny, where am I to go? For I'm a young and a sailor lad, and where am I to go?
Hello, and welcome to Where Am I to Go podcast. Today, before we start the show, I would like to bring up some business things that have kind of been on my mind so that you can know where to get more Where Am I to Go. First off, I'd like to talk about the Facebook page at Where Am I to Go podcast. It's on Facebook, and we've been posting some wonderful pictures of some of the places that we've been and some of the adventures that we've had. Not everything that we go and do is made into a podcast, and so we take pictures at different places and post those pictures so that you guys can enjoy some of the different places we've been. Also, I really am interested in listener feedback. I have an email address at whereamiitogopodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is whereamiitogopodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear some of the listeners' comments and some of their ideas of places that might be interesting to visit and go and do. Today I was driving through Missouri and I was looking for something that was maybe a little bit out of the ordinary on the internet, and I came across the Small Electric Appliance Museum. And it is in Diamond, Missouri. And I made a phone call and was able to, on the spur of the moment, trap Dina into giving me a tour of this museum. Now, what in the world could they have in an electric appliance museum? I am stunned. I've walked through this thing and I thought it was just a small showroom, but no, this thing goes on and on and on. There's all kinds of, you've got what, thousands of appliances in
Yes.
here. And it's in the back of a Western wear store. This is your Western wear store?
Yes. You've got to go through JR's Western store and talk to one of the girls, and it's kind of like a little secret rabbit hole. You leap through this little hole and you're in this whole new world of toasters. And you name it, anything old is back here in an electrical appliance.
And she's not joking. I mean, as far as the rabbit hole and everything else, I came in and said, is there an appliance or a small electric appliance museum here? And she says, oh yeah. And pulled me back to this one door and opened up the room. And like I said, I walked in and there's all these appliances in front of me, but then I walked around a cabinet and there was a bunch more. And I walked around another cabinet and another cabinet, and it just keeps going on. And this is just absolutely phenomenal. So your Western store, you sell?
I don't know how many boots I have had to sell just to purchase one of these toasters, but we have sold boots in the Western store for over 35 years now. And wow. It's a family-run business. We have saddles, hats, anything Western. We have it. We can get you outfitted.
Lots of pants and shirts.
Yeah, jeans.
Do you carry the old West style stuff like the Wawmaker and some of that also?
We have in the past, but we kind of got a little bit out of that. But we've got some hardcore Western goodies. Yes.
Good. Yeah, the store was packed. I mean, when you walk in, this is a true Western store.
The response we get when some people walk in is like, "Whoa, I'm going to spend all day here and I'm going to find everything I need."
And that's before they open the rabbit hole door back into this appliance museum.
Yeah.
This is just, I've been walking around here for 20 minutes just with my mouth open. So as we walk into the museum, everything's in glass cases. You've got tall glass cases. Everything's behind glass. But you start off seeing toasters as soon as you walk in. And when I'm talking toasters, I don't know if you've got two of the same toasters anywhere in here.
He's got a lot of original one-of-a-kind pieces. Some of the most intricate pieces you really literally have to see to know how they function. I think one of my favorite ones is where it's a regular looking toaster, but it doesn't go up from the top. The toast goes through the side, and the toast gradually makes it to the other side of the toaster. So, you know, when you got your husband saying, "Fix me toast," you just throw it in there and like There you go.
There you go.
There's your toast.
Now you said he has, and is your dad the one that started this collection?
Yes, he's been collecting for over 40 years.
Is that all?
So, yeah.
I figured he was like
all?
150 years old or something.
Yeah. Well, us kids would like to say that, but not in front of him.
And when I contacted him, he said that you were managing all of this now. That he had some health problems.
Yeah. He's still mean and ornery, though.
But the one thing that he did say, it sounded like it. The one thing that he did say is, I started this museum just to show people what all was available throughout the age. I guess the last 40, 50, 60. When did electric appliances come out?
I think 1908 or I'm not.
Okay, so
don't quote me too far.
We're
going way back. He's got some of the very first electrical toasters, and this is back when they didn't put caution, and bubble wrap your kids. If you touch that thing, you were going to get burned because it was just raw elements, and this is back when you had to use your brain.
Right.
I'm sure some of you remember that.
Yeah. So anyway, he said that he set this up so that people could see all of this stuff, and that he charged the extreme amount of free to get in.
Yes.
Just because he wants people to be able to see what's here. And you do have a donation jar.
We have a donation jar and a guest book you can sign in, and so it's, if you've got an afternoon or just a few minutes, you come in and you decide, no, I need an afternoon to look at all this, and come back. We're open 7 days a week, so this is open anytime the Western store is open, and it's open to anybody, all ages, wheelchair accessible. So
it is, and the rows are even wide enough that a person could get through them with a wheelchair.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's just awesome that he has that desire to share this with everybody. I think that is way cool. And let's get started. I mean, we've talked a little bit about some toasters, but we come down the ramp here and we turn to the left, and we end up with, I'm assuming these are all waffle irons.
Yes. So what's that world famous sandwich maker guy?
Oh heck, I don't know.
These were before his time,
Moses.
No, Moses. There you go. Yeah.
We're looking at all kinds of waffle irons. Most of them are round. In fact, all of these are. No, there's one that's kind of. It must have two waffles, and it's a rectangle.
Yeah, he's got some pieces that are actually commercial, like that come out of restaurants, and then he's got some that are all small and compact. It's very unique to see. Everything that he has in here is in working condition. So if electricity went out or whatnot, and you had your generator, you could still have your toast, you could have your waffle, because these would all work.
And you can have thousands of waffles.
As a matter of fact, my daughter was wanting one of those new fandangled KitchenAid mixers.
Right.
Like the little wiener dog that gets scratched in the cartoon. The pet, I don't know if you'd seen that. Well, anyway.
I don't ever watch TV, so I don't ever see commercials.
And I come back here and I videoed and sent her the video of all the KitchenAid mixers that my father had collected. And she's like, no, those are too much.
They probably all still work the same.
Oh, yeah, they work the same.
A toaster toast. And no matter how many different styles you have, I guess they kind of function the same. We turn around and we've got one of the old toasters that has the electric element sitting out. There's no outside covering. I'm sure you put your toast in, toasted one side, and then turned it over to toast the other.
And then you left set your toast on top on that rack, and it kept them warm.
It's got like a plate rack up on top, and then you could put your toast in there and keep it warm. Probably when it was buttered, just to keep the butter melting.
And this one is a square with toast. You can sit on each side of the square, and you flip them and it flips over to the other side.
really?
So it kind of like
It rotates around to each one of the four sides.
Yeah.
Now that's really cool. And again, this one here has the exposed springs. And yeah, that's just it's just like a base of a pyramid. It's kind of triangular,
Right.
but doesn't go all the way up with like a normal pyramid would. And then these toast holders, you slide your bread in, and then you would just flip them on around. Now this must have been after sliced bread.
yeah. True. Very true. Very
Or else
true.
someone was accurate with the slicing.
There's a very unique toaster he's got over here that is in the shape of a heart.
Oh, really?
And you put the toast in the heart part of it, and you push the button, and it comes out. There we go. Here it is.
Okay, you've got one in the shape of a heart and another one over here. It's the shape of a heart
Yeah.
too. And you put your bread in like it would be a diamond.
Yeah.
And then
And you push this button, and this flips out and flips it over.
and then you would have a heart shape toasted on your because it's got the holder, and it would have the heart shape on your toast. That'd be kind of cool. Now I've got another question to ask you while I'm looking at all of this. Who shines this stuff? I mean, all of these pieces are bright, shiny chrome.
Well, my daughter and my sister's 2 children, when they were about 6 to 7, went through this whole place and polished and shined and dusted, and they are now 26.
So it hasn't been done in that long?
No, I have a nephew that was wanting to work. So I says, I have the perfect job for you. And he also works in the Western store. He's a up and coming little bull rider, and he's about 9 or 10. And so when he's got spare time, he comes in and he'll help me in the store, shaping hats and whatnot, as well as coming back through and polishing up the toasters and
I just figured that
keeping it. No, it's just family that
somebody on retainer that just walked around here every day, all day long, polishing all these pieces because they're awesome display and so shiny. Is this here the toaster that you're talking about? And it looks like it takes one piece of toast? And and it's got a little gear in there or a little conveyor belt?
Just you see the little.
Yeah. Oh, that is so cool.
Isn't that fun?
The little glass, does that tell you whether it's burnt yet or not?
It tells you when it's hot. So there you go. There's your first warning one with the first warning. It's hot.
It's hot. And then you were pointing out the little round one over here.
This one is real rare. It's just a little circle. I mean, and there again, it's all exposed elements and it's
about a 4-inch circle, and it's got a place there in front where you can put your toast, and then it looks like instead of having the springs or the coils, it has flat pieces of element, I guess.
Yeah.
That would probably heat up a little bit more even than. Wow.
All kinds of goodies in here.
And then we come on over here, and you've got your mixer selection that you were just talking about.
There's all the mixers.
And they've got a lot of the old advertisements. They've got a lot of the old boxes that this stuff would have come in. You've got Magic Made waffle iron here, and then you've got your sunbeams, a whole bunch of sunbeams up here. Power Mix. The old glass mixing bowls and ceramic and the enameled. I mean, this is just amazing. And here's one that's just got a handle and a great big motor on it that's held by a little metal bracket of some sorts or another. It's just amazing to see.
The engineering on some of this stuff is just to know how it works, and there's sometimes I'll come back here and I'll have to stop and turn and go, wait a minute, I haven't seen that. And I've been here 35 years running back and forth. And I'm like, okay, now what is it? And I'll have to go, okay, Dad, what is it? So.
And now these are these coffee pots?
Yes, coffee and tea. And that's when the silver serving sets and the trays and
these are electric.
And these are all electric, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
because I've seen a lot of those that were just you put your hot water in and then, like you said, serving trays.
Oh.
But these ones here would have been percolating while it was going.
That's another
you've gotta be joking.
interesting piece there.
I'm looking at a little tiny toaster that's got little prongs going through it, like shish kebab prongs.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing's probably 3 inches by 3 inches square and has a little vented top on it. And it is an Angelus Campfire barbecue marshmallow toaster. If you want just a single serving marshmallow toaster, I guess that's the way you did it. And it's electric.
It's electric.
I'll bet it put out perfect marshmallows every time.
I've never tried it. Now I've had a gentleman phone me and want me to sell that to him, and I'm like, I would have no clue, and no, I can't sell a thing. It all stays all intact together, you know.
And the thing that's so cool about this display, you've got a lot of toasters in here again, and all of the faces on these would be like the open face ones, all except that you close the outside box, but they're also decorated. I mean, back in the day, all of the metal work that they put into this stuff is just phenomenal. The carvings, the inlays, the scroll work that they do.
And as you look at all the toasters and the different ways you can toast a piece of toast, you know, it's just ingenious to how they come up with these ways to do this. I mean, this is, and another little side note, my father, how he kind of got into this is his older brother repaired toasters and small appliances.
Okay.
And that's all he did. And so, you know, they got to the age where everybody was buying this plastic stuff and just throwing it away. And so eventually he didn't have a job anymore, but Dad kept collecting all these toasters.
And then we turn around over here and we're looking at some more mixers, a little bit more modern toaster. That one had to have been from about the 1950s. It's got that that
porcelain,
turquoise porcelain look to it. Mm-hmm. And some more mixers. But then we get into electric shavers. And you've got a Sunbeam Shave Master that has 2 electric razors on it. I was going to say for charging because that's the way you charge your cell phones now, but it's an electric box that it's pretty cool looking, and the 2 shavers sit up on top of it.
Well,
that may have been in a barber shop.
That's what I'm thinking. It probably was in a barber shop, and
then you've got a couple of waffle makers with painted porcelain flowers and some of that on the top inlay. I'll bet some of these pieces were extremely expensive when they were new.
Yeah, at least 10 pairs of boots each.
Because that's what you paid for them?
Yeah, there's like these copper. Some of my favorite ones is this copper.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's etched glass on the top.
And it's got a percolator on top.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty.
Yeah. These are just some really, really pretty pieces. It's amazing what they did, you know, when they had real craftsmen doing some of this stuff instead of just molded plastic or punched out steel pieces. CM Pop electric popcorn popper. Now, is that hot air or is that it's probably heated with oil in the bottom?
I would say so.
And then you've got a couple of electric milkshake, not grinders, but stirrers. Mixers.
Now,
there we go.
Now keep
Thank you, Linda, for helping me out with this because I'm just at a loss for words.
I'll help you.
Now keep in mind, I haven't had lunch, so let's not talk too much food.
Okay.
This,
Wow.
These are cute too. I
More
like the yellow
toasters.
ones. These are really pretty.
this is an awesome set here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, another set of coffee makers.
And
with
that
the
porcelain
Oh yeah.
with the copper and the glass. And it's very hard to find anything with any kind of age that's a porcelain or the glass in mint condition with no chips, no cracks, no, you know. those people that collect that glassware know what I mean, because they've got to feel every edge.
Right.
Now this is really cool. There's another toaster, and this toaster, is that a wind? No, is that a wind up? It looks like it's got an old
more of
toy
a timer.
wind up.
So probably when you set how dark you wanted your toast.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It looked
So
like
you
it
went
was
to
a wind
2
up.
or 3, but yeah, it looks like a wind up toy.
And it's just a box, and you put your toast in and slide the drawer shut, and then turn your timer. Wow.
Now this fan here, I can tell a little story about that. It's
Okay.
very, very unique, kind of Art Deco period.
It almost looks kind of steampunkish,
But it could be.
but it's old.
I found that in Memphis, and I knew Dad didn't have that fan, so I gave that to him for his birthday. And I told him it came from Elvis because we were in Memphis. So if he believed that, hey, that's great. So I don't know anything about it other than it came from Memphis, and we bought it for him, and gave him to him for his birthday. And
It's a really interesting.
it is a
looking
very
piece.
shape. The fan flares up, and he really started collecting old brass bladed fans,
Okay.
and he collected them, and he had them in his garage. And when the shelves fell down on Mom's new car, he decided he needed to go to back to the toaster situation and do toasters. You know, he'd always had toasters around here and there, and then decided, now I need to get out of the collecting of the fans and go to the toasters and
Now
the
this
small.
here must be a new age of toasters too. You've got a red one and a blue one. It's got the stainless main toaster part, but it's got a shelf on it. And does the toast come out the bottom, or what's that bottom? It's got kind of a bottom curved slide on it.
I don't know. We'd have to get it out and plug it in.
Oh, we don't need to go to that extreme, but you got a whole set of them. Is there a name on these? I'm not seeing a brand name on them.
We'd have
I'd
to look.
like to see.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. And you guys ought to look at some of this stuff on Google just to see what some of these old appliances look like. And we will have pictures posted to our Facebook page just after this comes out and airs.
Here's a real pretty copper set.
Oh, yeah. I never even thought that those things were electric. I've seen them in different places, but I never even imagined these coffee sets. There's copper toasters, and they all have the electric cords coming out the back. Now, these electric cords are kind of cool, too. It's got the plug-in part that's just got a bunch of fiber in it, and then it comes on out to 2 prongs, like you would have for an audio cable on a VCR, or I guess now it's DVD or CD or whatever player, and you plug those into 2 big prongs that just stuck out the back of the appliance. And there's lots of these different cords that are just, it almost looks like they could be kind of dangerous to play with.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
And then we come back into another area. And when we're going through these areas, there's, in this one area that we're in this room that's probably 15 by 15, we've got glass cases all the way around the outside and 2 glass cases coming down the middle. And I'll bet there's over 1,000 items in this one room. And then we come back into another room, and this room's probably 20 by 20. And I'll bet we have another 2,000 items in this room. It's just amazing how many small appliances there are. Now, what is this thing?
That would have come out of a restaurant, I would think. Or you could even say your portable, like camping.
Right.
Heat your
Well, it looks like
slow
it's got
cooker.
a slow cooker on one side.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the apple
With the
green.
grill. Put your coals in there.
Color. Oh, is that what it was?
Maybe put your coals in there and help heat that up, but you got your warmers.
But those are electric elements, so you wouldn't put coal in there.
Well, but if you wanted that barbecue smell.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I'm making this up right now. I don't know.
I'll take that.
your hickory and your apple wood and your peach
Right.
wood, and for all those guys that smoke good stuff out there, meaning the meat flavor.
That is just really, really cool. It's got a square in it that's probably 12 inches square that has little electric elements, but there's a drawer underneath it. And then it's got the slow cooker on the other side, or heating, like if you were to make a soup.
Like the speckled porcelain old-time tables in the 50s would be the color I would call it, like that speckled marble.
That's just a really interesting piece. And then you've got some old electric irons that probably weigh 35 pounds each.
At least.
These things are huge. They're probably 12 to 14 inches long and 4 inches wide with big old wood handles on them. And a red hot steamer. That almost looks like a Vitamix, all except it's a steamer. You must have put vegetables in there or something to make that work. This is just so cool. So cool. And we've got a coffee roaster. An electric coffee roaster. It's got a wind up in order to turn the center roaster. What would you
roast
call
the beans?
To roast the beans. And a plug-in on the side, I'm sure, that heats up, and a little lid to help. So that must have been for getting your raw coffee beans and roasting them yourself.
There's a really unique piece over here. I'll let you describe it.
Okay.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, it's a hot dog roaster that has electric. Well, it looks like a tombstone with a base on it, and I guess it is for hot dogs. But there's electric prongs that come on out, and you bread your hot dog with the electric prongs in both sides, and it must just heat up and
electrocute them.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is just some of the stuff that they came up with, and you have to wonder how people didn't die. Like you said, they must have been smart back in the day.
Yeah. Well, and this is an older version of the same electrocute your hot dog,
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you've got a Kistler's Sandwiches radar. What in the world is that thing? It's got a top piece on it that's about 6 inches round and about 12 inches high that sits on a base and has holes all through it. And it's got little radars with lightning bolts all over it.
Maybe you put your Polish sausage down the
Oh, maybe
hole
it's here in the hot dog section.
Yeah.
So, wow. They've got all kinds of different kinds of hot dog roasters here. And then we get the old electric vibrators.
Oh, yeah.
Those things look wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's an old electric hairdryer. This had to have been one of the first. It's just a little tiny thing. It's got a regular handle on it, but a small motor, and probably only 3 inches long, 4 inches long for the air to come out with a little fan. Mm-hmm. And then a small Polar Cub vacuum. I think that's what that is. It looks like a vacuum. It's got a little vacuum bag on it. It's just a little handheld thing. And again, just a super small motor. I'll bet that motor is only 2 inches round and 2.5 inches high, with a bag and a vacuum head on it.
You might want to read that to them. That's interesting. There's
what is that? The electric presser, the newest thing on the market in 1940, and it presses without a wet cloth or pressure, no ironing necessary, complete with a cord and plug. This new presser is ready for duty on a minute's notice, weighs only 10 ounces, light to carry when traveling, and can be used 100 times on the same garment without causing a shine. No pressure or wet cloth used. Normal dampness in all cloth sets. And this is for pressing the crease in your pants back in the old days, before people wore jeans all the time.
Kind of looks like a curling iron with the handle, but it's flaps, so you can...
Yeah. So
open it up and press that seam to
and
make
you
your
can do
crease.
it in just seconds and take it with you wherever you go for the traveling salesman. Wow. And
Yep,
we
you never
got
know.
a whole collection of irons here. And I noticed over here that they had a couple of electric irons that were glass.
Yes,
And-
those red and blue
Yes.
are real rare to get the. Yes.
Beautiful.
Those are
They
rare.
were such cool pieces. Now these electric irons, you've got all kinds of different styles from probably 1908 on, and just a really nice collection there. You've got a couple of heating pads.
Yeah, the hot
The
plates
hot
are.
plates, that's what
yeah,
I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what he calls them.
And so a couple
Keep
more curling
the food
irons.
warm. Mm-hmm.
And then you have Jingle popcorn cooker. I wonder how that thing worked. It's got a heating element on it like your modern day electric stove. And it's got a red box on the bottom. And it must just be a hot plate that you put but jingle corn I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up and figure out what jingle corn was. It was popcorn. And again, some more slow cookers, double cookers.
This next collection is what my mother collected while my father was collecting.
Okay. And it looks like she liked tigers.
Yes,
And
the
a striped Winnie the Pooh.
the Steiff tigers or stuffed animals and cats was her passion, and they're very, very old. We've got different.
Wow. And then down on the bottom again, you've got electric fans with heating elements in front of them. I'm sure that's for just little space heaters with copper backs on them. This is just so cool. Electric curling irons. Man, that one there looks like it would have been... Oh, okay, that's just a heater. You had a round container that had heating elements in it, and you put your old curling irons in there, and then you could pull them out instead of having the curling irons being electric themselves. And a Mr. Peanut for warm peanuts. You must have plugged that in and been able to have warm peanuts.
Yep, roasted peanuts.
A baby bottle sterilizer. Okay, you've got several of these. That must have been back when everybody was using the glass baby bottles.
Yep.
And then you've got a rack here with about 10 of the old baby bottles. Probably the kind that I was fed with, because I don't know that
I'm sure
had
I was
plastic
too.
bottles.
I hate to admit that I can remember those.
And then there's a container that is kind of like one of the old cake pan things that has a lid on it, all except it's made out of stainless steel, and you put your bottles in there and probably a little bit of water to steam them, and would sterilize the bottles. That is, yeah, there's several of them. And a vaporizer, an old Vapormatic. It's made out of, it looks like ceramic, again, electric. Then as we move here to the next case, you've got like the old
Toy cooker.
It's a toy cooker, but
Kind of the stove. You could play Mom.
What did they call it when they had those easy bake ovens?
Easy bake,
Oh,
yeah.
except this one here looks like a real oven with a door that comes down, and so I'm sure that you could make a single biscuit or something like that in
And
there,
it's
or a
metal.
single cookie.
And it's metal, so it's...
And it's an enameled cover.
Where those Easy Bake were plastic.
Right, this one here is called the Little Lady Tested Recipes. We're baking today. Oh, and check this out. One of your old, probably one of the very first electric timers to turn on your coffee in the morning. It's got AM and PM, and you can adjust it to whatever time you want that to click on your coffee, and it's called a Paragon coffee starter. It's still in the box.
That's why I have a husband.
To start your coffee in the morning?
Yes.
And then you've got an old TV, small screen. It's like probably an 8-inch screen, kind of a big box. But this cabinet here, you've got a Singer sewing machine. You've got
There's another one of those things.
Oh,
small.
there is another one of those things that we were talking about with the roaster, and it's got a pan in the bottom with the cord and everything. This one does not have the crock pot on the side of it, or the warming pot on the side. Then we got a couple more vibrators.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. Oh, and one that's made for head massage. With kind of a suction cup. Boy, that'd stick to my bald head and never come off. And now for this one, because this is all too funny. It's delicious. It's new. Try one. Pup in a poke, served in sanitary sealed bags. It's a hot dog cooker, cooked in the bag, and you can get them while they're hot and they're sanitary. So I guess this here could be reinvented and called a COVID burner.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But again, it's got the two little prongs that electrocute the hot dog into compliance.
Yeah.
And over here we got a Jiffy Dog, a delicious hot dog sandwich, electrically cooked and served in a carton. So another sanitary hot dog Jiffy cooker. It's got two little Jiffy Cook hot dog boxes. It looks like you just put the box in slide the box into the bottom part, and it cooks your hot dog for you.
Now I don't know. I have a memory of Dad when he worked in the lumber industry of always having a metal lunchbox.
Right.
With the dome or the rounded top, and you had your thermos that you put in the top and the bottom. This is an electric lunchbox.
I'm seeing that. And this one here's just square. It's what, probably 8 by 10 square.
Yeah. A little bit wider than the one I remember, because it was,
And I guess when you got to work, you plugged that thing in.
And
it's from Lebanon, Oregon. And it says the Lunchmaster Electric Lunchbox. I encourage you guys, go to Google and look up some of this stuff, because it's just mind-boggling. If we say a brand name like this Jiffy Dog or the Lunchmaster.
I don't know, Google? Do you think Google will have it?
Or eBay or someplace.
They're going to have to come here to see it, I think.
Well, that's true. But they'll get an idea of some of the stuff that you have. This stuff is just... Oh, and here's a General Electric clock. And it has like the old refrigerators with the little dome on top that was the cooling unit.
And we've got 2 old refrigerators in here, too.
Yes, you do. That look just about like the little clock.
Yes. And we just brought the one refrigerator in and out of Dad's basement. That's, dare I say, 13 steps to get... These they're not lightweight. They are heavy.
and you really probably don't want to turn them sideways or anything else, because you might damage something on them. Yeah. You got an old Westinghouse and an old General Electric. Wow.
Yep.
This is just a whole cabinet here of electric shavers. You've got a sun lamp, a Certi 2-in-1 sun lamp, the new improved 2-in-1 ultraviolet and infrared lamp for health benefits. It's got a picture of somebody, a couple of, like a whole family sitting underneath this lamp. There's another electric hairdryer. What are these down here? Are they more?
They're more waffle irons.
And these ones here are enameled instead of being...
Yep.
Wow.
This is the item we were discussing about the house of...
a bordello. Yes, we were discussing this before. I'd said that we'd done the bordello museum in San Angelo, and she's got a piece that came out of a bordello that was an incense burner.
Yes, it spewed perfume to make
everything
smell good within that facility. So it is...
and it's electric too. So you must have put some oil in the bottom or something. And this is really a neat piece. It's kind of a Romanesque maybe look.
Lots of carving.
And scroll work and some of that on a base, and has kind of a bowl and then the top, but lots of room for the perfumey stuff to come out. So, what in the world is this thing? It looks like a happy horse with a plug-in on it.
Cigar.
Oh, cigar.
Cigar lighter.
A cigar lighter. It's got a horse, kind of a comical looking horse, sitting down with his hoof up by his, back hoof up by his cheek, and a cord coming out the back. And where did it light from? It's really...
It's maybe from the underside. Maybe you pick it up.
And you can light your cigar from underneath.
Underside. So he sits there. And,
that's what it is.
You know.
Yeah, you pick it up, and the horse is a handle, and you can light your cigar.
Looked like the old, the old cigarette lighters in the vehicle is what his bottom looks like. Yeah. So could we say light your ass on fire with this?
We could say that.
Maybe that's where it came
Wow.
That could be it.
And then again, we got some more shavers. We got some electric clippers. What is this thing? It's a box with a thing on the front. It says Silver Beauty Junior battery charger. That's a battery charger from probably the 1930s.
Now we didn't close down during COVID. We stayed open 24/7. I had one guy said he needed a haircut, and I told him, will you come on back? I said, I'll let you pick out your shaver, and I'll cut your hair, because we've got all kinds of shavers and trimmers and whatnot. And he just didn't trust me enough. He bought the boots, but he didn't trust me to cut his hair.
And we've got these old shavers. We've got an old Remington. I mean, I can remember my grandpa had one like this when I was growing up. I was just, small. So this would have been maybe 50s style. And these things probably outlasted anything that you could buy now with the old rotary heads on them. And we've got a Schick shaver. And Racine Senior Deluxe Electric.
You used to be able to go get your razors sharpened, the blades sharpened. Anymore that's like a dying art, because we have the big cattle farmers and that show the cattle and at the big stock shows and stuff.
Right.
They actually need those blades sharpened. And it's very hard to find somebody that does a good job and knows what they're doing.
And that's for like the sheep shears and some of that stuff.
Yeah,
but they used to sharpen these little personal shave your
when they made it out of the real stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And all of these are in boxes, or a lot of them are in boxes, and so you can see the labeling and the marketing that went on with them. And again, you've got lady shavers over here, the Remington electronic lady shaver, Remington Princes. Now, are these for women that have beards? No,
could have
for
been.
Their legs.
Could have been. I don't know. Could have been.
Okay.
There's the world's smallest electrical iron.
The world's smallest electric iron, and that thing's not more than 3 inches long and 1 inch wide. But now we're looking at those glass irons I've never seen the glass irons. It's just...
They're beautiful.
And an electric rolling pin. What would you use an electric rolling pin for?
Make noodles real good?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd never even thought of an electric
get the
pin.
noodles to rise as you're rolling them already.
Maybe. Wow. And some more toasters and some other things. Now, what are these down here? We've got a square that's probably 6 inches wide and about 12 inches long, and it's got all these little perforations, like little cylinders.
It's like a hot plate, plate.
Oh, just a hot plate.
Yeah.
But these ones are square.
Square, or rectangle.
Okay, yeah, you'd get a little bit of ventilation underneath them and some of that too.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting right here. When I have the youngsters come in, I usually tell them they need to find this, and they look all over and look all over, and then I have to show them where it is. So
this is one of those things you could overlook, but why? It's a forklift. It's an old 40 style forklift, and it's a tow motor. Is it a toy?
I think it's a salesman sample.
A salesman
But-
sample, okay.
You know, it plugs in, so it's going to show you how the forks go up and maybe the gears were. I don't know, but it's all metal.
Wow.
Interesting.
And so is this next piece. There's something else up here that's electric. It looks like a toaster. It's got 3 drawers to it. So I'm assuming you put your toast in the top one, a little hot plate on the very top, and then you've got poached egg down below.
Yep.
So you could make your full breakfast
In one shot.
in one shot. You put your eggs in the bottom, and then your toast would set up above with a little tray underneath it to catch the toast crumbs as it was toasting,
Maybe that's for bacon up there.
and then the bacon on the top. Yeah. Wow. A complete breakfast right there.
I don't know.
That's kind of what it looks like it'd do. And what's this thing over here with all the little handles coming out of it? This is a Presto. Let me see if I can read it. A Presto. Oh, Weiner Roaster.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got a glass cylinder, and I guess you spear your
Yeah.
hot dog and put it down in there, and it roasts your hot dog. There's enough space for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, maybe 14 hot dogs down in that little roaster. Isn't that cool? I've never seen most of this stuff. This is just fascinating walking through here. Again, some old hair dryers, old mixers. And the glass that they put on these old mixers is just really interesting too. With the, all the mixers now are just kind of a triangular container that they mix in. But these old glass ones, they had like 3 cylinder containers and square and round and just all kinds of cool stuff. Did you guys ever have a hard time figuring out what to get your dad for his birthday or Christmas?
He likes turtles, so a box of turtles.
Turtles? I wouldn't have thought that that's what you'd get him, would be turtles.
and a bag of bread. So he could test out all his toasters.
All his toasters. Then you've got some more of your milkshake mixers. But this is really cool. You've got a hot fudge sundae, hot fudge container. Hungerford Smiths. And that must be for keeping the hot fudge.
Hot fudge.
hot.
I can taste it right now. That's good stuff.
Yeah. And then you've got several of these little, now either these were toys or these were salesman models too. Ringer washers that are electric that actually would probably work. And an Annie record player with Annie on the inside, and it's got a red case and a little record player.
This little lady ranges, kind of like a little stove with the...
And were those probably children's toys again, or?
I would think they used them because they were trying to do a lot of things that were portable, and like the Lunchbox that had had electric, and there was a portable. So they were trying to do things that you could travel with. So this might have been a little one to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of like the 1940s stove that had the legs on it.
Yeah, and it could be, salesman samples too.
And then you've got this massive looking, that's got to be a waffle iron again, but it's got a heart. It's got 2 hearts, a diamond, and a shamrock. And you would assume that's a waffle iron?
Yeah.
And it's big. It looks like it weighs probably 35 pounds.
I wouldn't want to move it.
No. But it probably made some interesting waffles. And some more mixer. Oh, now this is an interesting mixer. It's got the mixer on the bottom. It's Wards, Montgomery Wards, but it's got a juice, like a lemon juicer on top that probably spun the center juicer part. And you put your lemon down on top, and then the juice came out, and it looks like it went right into your bowl.
You could make lemon cake with that real good.
That's probably what that was for. I was going, now why would you want the juice to go down into your bowl?
In your
lemon
batter?
Cake,
lemon
cake.
Lemon cake.
And a Mickey
this
Mouse waffle maker.
blow dryer that looks like a revolver gun.
Yes, it does.
So,
It's even got a holster.
So the girls that were styling your hair could have a gun on the pack a gun and blow your hair dry.
And then his Crazy Duck, another blow dryer that's got a great big duck bill with air coming out of it. And a Mickey Mouse morning toaster and a Bugs Bunny clock.
And the toast comes out with Mickey Mouse's.
Oh, that's cute.
It does.
Yes.
The way it's got
That
the
was-
inside elements.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse comes out on your toast.
That was another Christmas gift we gave him. So see, turtles and toasters.
Toast, yeah. Well, this is just so cool. This is just so cool. So many things to see. So many things to see. And I bet if I walked through here, I'd see 100 more. You said you walk through here all the time and see
And
more.
see, now this here would be out of a big restaurant to
Right.
do all the toast all at once.
Yeah, you got a
2,
six
4,
toaster,
6.
six toaster. Wow.
Yep.
Well, Dina,
Yep.
I have really enjoyed this. This is just absolutely fantastic.
Well-
so much fun. So much fun. I mean, down memory lane for some of it, and some of it, you're just going, did Grandma and Grandpa use this?
Oh yeah, yeah.
know?
Or I remember when my great grandma had this, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Yep.
I remember telling my grandma that I was really intrigued with old ice boxes, the old oak ice boxes. And my grandma says, "Oh, we hauled 6 or 7 of those to the landfill." And I went, "You've got to be joking." She says, "When the electric ice box came out, it changed our whole life. We didn't have to haul ice anymore. We didn't have to do any of that." And I'm sure that these toasters and all of that stuff just changed everybody's life so dramatically in the early 1900s. And, rural electrification in the 30s and 40s and some of that. It's so interesting to see this stuff.
Well, we're here 7 days a week, so come see us.
Yes, and this is in Diamond, Missouri.
Missouri,
It's just a little bit south of Joplin.
We're not south. We're more east of Joplin.
But really close to Joplin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Joplin was the last town that we kind of came through as we were
We're
coming.
just a 2-mile jaunt off of I-44.
And I'll tell you, this is well worth the visit. The thing that you're going to have to remember is you got to go into the Western Wear store, because the lady at the front counter of the gas station didn't even know this existed, which you need to go over and drag her over here and show her what's here, because that ought to be a requirement for working in that store, is knowing that this place is here.
Youngsters.
But I so appreciate it. Do you guys have a website too?
Yes, we do have a website.
And what is your website?
And I wouldn't have a clue. I'd have to read it off the board up here. So
Well, let's walk back
get
up here
there
and read it off the board so that everybody can see it. You guys have a Facebook page also?
Yes, but it's more directed to the website.
Okay.
Everything's pretty much on the website. And it is...
I know that I just Googled the world's largest small electric appliance in Diamond, and it came up. Okay, so it's www.jrsappliance, APPLIANCE, So it's JR's Appliance Museum. And that's where you can find all of the information here. And like I said, it'll take you right here if you go ahead and Google map it. But you just got to know that it's in behind the
JR's Western store. Yeah.
So anyway, thanks again.
Okay.
And as I finish out, I say, the world is full of wonder. You need to get out and explore and have an absolutely wonder-filled day.
Haul the roll and go, where am I to go? Meet Johnny, where am I to go? For I'm a young and a sailor lad, and where am I to go?